Hello and welcome to 15 Minute Gamer. My name is Tony and this is a review of RiME. It is an adventure platformer. Developer is Tequila Works and the publisher is Greybox, and 6 Foot is coming out on May 26th on PS4, Xbox One and PC, with the Nintendo Switch version to follow sometime in the summer of 2017. No release date has been made as yet. So what is this game? RiME is basically a single player puzzle adventure game about a young boy shipwrecked on a mysterious island after a storm, and players must basically get through the challenges and various secrets of the map to find a way off. It is very colourful and lots of artwork. That is what it is according to developers. I can't disagree. Yeah, it is. That's exactly what it is. You find yourself shipwrecked, and it is a very, very beautiful game. As you can see now, I've included a lot of gameplay. I've only included gameplay from the first half hour or so of it. I didn't want any spoilers. I just want to show you some of the puzzles. I didn't particularly want to show you too much that may not want you to get to play it. Like if there was a spoiler in there, or you think, "Oh my God, Tony, why did you show that?" There's none of that in there. This is just some gameplay. The first couple of open areas. I was kindly given the code by the developers for the purpose of this review. Unfortunately, it was embargoed, so I couldn't stream or show you anything. I did put a few screenshots up on Twitter because I was only allowed to show from the first act. So you know what? I did. So yes, you know me in puzzle games, I don't really get on with puzzle games. I'm rubbish at them. I can't figure out a puzzle. If there's a puzzle in front of me and everyone's like, "Dude, just do that," I'm like, I cannot see. I don't have that sort of brain. My worst nightmare would just be stuck in one of them, you know, the locking rooms where they lock you in and trying to figure a way out. I'll be stuck in there all year. There's no way I'm getting out of that at all. My brain just is not wired like that, to be fair. So when I read the information, I was like, "Oh, not a puzzle game. This isn't good. I am going to get stuck within 1 minute and just not play it." That is me in puzzle games. I tend to avoid them. But I'm pleased to say the puzzles in this game, although are not obvious, there is kind of soft hints and ways to do it that don't strike me as, "Oh my God, what am I doing now?" Like, I always seem to get pushed in the right direction. I don't know if that was maybe a bit of fluke or that's how the game is designed, but I could always figure out what to do next. I was never left too confused. I think in my playthrough I only rage quitted about 3 times, which for a puzzle game is really good for me, and it was just because I wasn't looking in the right places. You know, if I explored a little bit more, then I would have found out the answer to what I was looking for. It's just that when I play games, I do tend to very much stick to a path, and that's all I stick to. So I'll stick to a path, and if something is need to be found off that path, I'm not going to find it with all these collectibles and stuff. That isn't how I play games. So I booted up, and instantly the first thing that grasped me was the graphics. The graphics are wonderful. There's not many games that I've played that I've sat there and went, "Wow, look at that." I had to take pictures when I was playing. There were sometimes when I would just stop, like when the sun was setting or at a certain angle, and I was just like, "Wow, that's incredible." The art style is a little bit simplistic, but my God, does it really, really set the scene well. There's little animals running around, there's butterflies, there's birds flying in the sky, the shadows are lovely, the reflections are lush, everything is just so nice. It is so well graphically done. And that's not to say I didn't come across a few bugs, like you can see on screen now. There is a little couple of bugs there. The frame rate was not particularly great. I was running around about the 20 frames per second mark, and I don't have a bad computer, so I'm not sure why I was running at that. But bearing in mind when I reviewed it, it hadn't been released yet. This was a copy for a beta testing, so hopefully by release they have sorted that out. As you can see there, I've just been swimming through the water. Underwater looks incredible as well, and I love this art style. The art style did kind of remind me along the lines of, say, Journey. Because Journey was one of them games you'd play, and it kind of was a little bit puzzly, and you would go, "Wow, look at that." Something would happen or something would move. And this game does that really well. Like the way even little things like doors unlock, or when you do your basically to make these objects move. You make like a noise towards them and they'll unlock doors, or you gotta figure out the puzzles beside them. And even that looks incredible when it's swooshing around the map. It just looks really, really, really good. The sound design is also really good. The seagulls sound like seagulls. The animals sound like animals, and I like that. And the little kid himself doesn't really speak. He makes the odd noise and the odd grunt and stuff like that. And that's really well done. And you come across a fox just at the end of the first level. It kind of is a spirit animal kind of thing. And he's really cute, and you can hear him barking around. And, that was really well done. I knew whereabouts he was. I could follow his sounds to find out where he wanted me to go. And that all worked really well. So the graphics are really good. And the sound design is really good as well. The graphics, as I said, I'm going to keep saying it, just blew me away. And there's some really nice little touches as well for the graphics as well. So like if you're running down a hill, the character will kind of slant an angle to run down. And when you're hanging off stuff, the way he hangs is quite realistic. The way he climbs is really good. So a lot of effort is being put into there as well. And the video in the background, I've cut out the walking bits. There is a little bit of walking. So when you're walking around the game world or running, there's obstacles. So you will have to jump over things or hang off ledges, climb up ledges, fix a part of the puzzle to get you to a higher ground, jump through windows, jump out of windows, pull things around. There's things to pull as well, so there's these blocks you can pull around to get the higher areas, or sometimes they'll contain a special orb. There are special orbs that'll light a few of these little guys. I don't know what you call them. They're like weird little jelly baby things, like on plimps, and when you go towards them, they're kind of like the beam there. You just let out the beam and the power things and stuff. So these are foxes, these guys. When you get into it, they're kind of like jelly beans, and there's these orbs that will control many of them. So when this is a bit here where look, just how incredible is that? That is gorgeous. I had to take a screenshot of that. I just stood there looking at it going, wow, this is a beautiful game, isn't it? Like, just look at it. Just take a few seconds to appreciate that. Awesome. Absolutely awesome graphics. And that's why at the end of this review, I'm going to leave in about 10 minutes of gameplay footage just so you can watch. And you'll know by watching it if you like this game. And that's what I like about it. It's not trying to be anything different. It is a puzzle game, and with it looking so good and developed and coming to everything as well, this on the Switch will be really good. I hope they bring in some sort of touch controls as well. That'd be really cool to see. I was playing it on PC, so you could use the keyboard or you could use the mouse on it as well. I chose to use the mouse and keyboard because it was just a little bit easier. However, the joystick does work on it, and it works pretty well. So you can now see that as the fox thing on screen. Look at the sky though. Look how incredible. Look at this. Oh, just beautiful. I could go on all day about how gorgeous this game works. And it's not just the game design and the sound design that's good. The gameplay is actually not too bad as well. Sometimes the camera angle does catch you out a little bit, and I did meet my demise a few times with dodgy camera angles. I hope they work on that for when it comes around to release, because there was a few times where he has these jelly baby kind of guys. See how he does that? And it opens up the door. Beautiful. So yeah, there was a few times where the camera angle just wouldn't sit right, or it turned at the wrong time, or it moved. And you would think a jump was doable, and suddenly it wasn't doable because of the way the camera angle. And you can't control the camera angle, but sometimes it will just snap to a location, especially if you're on a ledge. Like if you're just about to jump off a ledge, it'll kind of snap to the side of the ledge, which sometimes is just no good. So I kind of hope they work on that. The platform elements work well. You'll see which ones you can jump on, and the kind of white, I think it's like seagull poo. That's kind of what it looks like. You can jump up and around them, and it's just a simple button to go down and a simple button to go up, and like sort of everything like Uncharted 4, Tomb Raider, when you get the edge of a ledge, they'll stretch out their arm and jump to the next ledge, and that's kind of what it's about. The save points, talk about gameplay, are really, really good. They generally drop you very close to where you were when you died, and that's a good thing. I like that. Here on screen's another puzzle that's quite common as well, where you gotta match up these glowing things, and when you match them up, they'll make a doorway to open up areas, and you have to move blocks to move them into place. And you know, you might have 3 or 4, or you might have to drop something to do it. And I mean, look at that sun rising there. Oh, just incredible. And there's secrets to be found, there's collectibles, there's just everything you could possibly want from a good puzzle game, really. So, a lot of positives so far. As I said, the only negatives are kind of the camera angles a bit rubbish at times. And also, even though most of the puzzles point in the right direction, sometimes I think it would be handy just to have a little hint. Because there was a bit where I got stuck on where I was just stuck for ages. I could not figure it out at all. I went here, there, everywhere. Found secret areas that I hadn't found before. And even if it was just a little marker, just occasionally once you got stuck, or you could collect stuck points, I don't know, something like that. That'd be kind of cool. Apart from that, though, everything else is positive. If you love your puzzle games, if you love your, like, if you're into graphics alone, and you want a bit of something to play around with, and a cool character, because even though he doesn't speak much, you kind of relate to him as you go, you know. Again, maybe a little bit more emotion, so you can be scared or excited at times or something, but it does have a few cut scenes in there as well. The story is kind of cool, how it's told, and the locations you visit are great. The puzzles are well designed, and just, it's a very, very fun game. You know, I don't do things out of 10, so I'm not going to sit here and do it. All I'm going to say is, would I recommend it? If you're into your puzzle games and you enjoy your adventure games, check it out. You won't go too far wrong. It is puzzle based. There's a lot of walking around and exploring to do. If that's not your thing, seriously avoid it, because that just isn't going to satisfy you in any way. I know the type of people are going to love this game. You know, some people who play Journey a lot of the time and stuff like that, and maybe even platform elements in there with them being there. I think people enjoy it. So, yeah, there you go. That's my recommendation. Basically, you know, I've shown you a lot of gameplay. I'm going to keep the gameplay running after I finish talking, so you can watch it. I'm going to turn the volume back up so you can hear it and see what's sort of happening. So, yeah, it's just about 5 minutes of that. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot better than what I thought it was going to be. Graphics are fantastic as well for a puzzle game. I played all the way through, and for me, that's rare. So if that's not a recommendation, I don't know what is. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you all later. Goodbye.